Recently, one of my favorite things on TikTok is, there's always certain people that will kind of like duet with a video, and they'll kind of make points of what they're going to make, kind of insert their own humor into the video. And then somebody else will add on, So like a couple of them, there's the one guy that always talks right into the camera, and he had his wife on. It looked like it was like a hostage situation. And there's like 15 other people that made it look like a hostage situation and added their own mix to it, which was hilarious. And then there was the other one. What was the council, right? The council of men wanted to protect a young lady that gives such pretty solid advice for guys like myself, and saying we need to go make sure to protect this woman. And even she got involved and actually got dressed up for it, which is really fun and interesting. There's a guy that's actually a lawyer that put the whole thing together and made it sound pretty funny. And the other thing that happened recently is the one about a young lady, young, pretty blonde, that talked about, where are all the good guys at? And, guys, if you can help me, where are these guys at? Like, are they normally at the gym? Are they playing video games? Like, where are they? And a couple of like nice guys, it looks like, they got on and duetted together and saying, "Oh, they're in your friend zone. Well, where are all these good guys? They're in your friend zone. Check your friend zone. Check your friend zone." Which leads to my story from Inside Hook. And of course, it wasn't Kayla Kibb, it's Logan Mahan that actually writes about why men are so bad at friendships. And can it be amended? So let me see what Logan actually says about this from InsideHook.com. Data posted by Dr. Scott Barry Kaufman revealed a very pretty abysmal statistic. 15% of men and 10% of women in America have no close friends. The decline is mostly pronounced among men. This is along with a chart from the Survey for American Life. In 1990, only 3% of men reportedly having no close friends. In 2021, the number rose to 15%. I must say, I am in this minority. I know, and I get it. I did have a close friend of mine. He got married, he had a kid, and then we had a falling out over something he wanted me to do for a family member, which was like, I just felt like was, asking for too much. And it was something I did not want to do, but that was enough for him to go ahead and kind of shut down a friendship that we had for over 10 years. Okay, hey, float your boat. I knew you were going to have a relationship change because you got married, you had a kid, and I told him before this all happened, before he got married, before he had his child, his beautiful baby daughter, I told him, man, things are going to change between you and me. We're not going to be hanging out as much anymore. Things will change. I know it, and that's okay. It's all right. We're going to spend less time with each other, hanging out. And then he said, "Oh no, we'll don't worry about that. Or you're never going to be like left out." Yeah, well, I'm left out now. See, and I expected it, and that's okay. According to the American Perspective survey, conducted in May of 2021, men have suffered a steep decline in friendships, and young men are faring the worst. More than 1 in 4 men under the age of 30 reporting having no close social connections. And this survey only adds to the growing number of research that has found American social circles overall receding, but this decline is still most prominent among men. Now, I still have people I talk over the phone with on a regular basis, and I have friends of mine that I get together for football season. We watch Buccaneer games. Other than that, I'm kind of a loner. I do to myself. And I really don't believe in the friend zone and having girls as friends. I thought I could try to do that, but I always notice it just never works. It never works for me at all. But I'm sure some of you guys know out there are sometimes girls that you talk to that just want to be your friends anyway, and they can insist on it. Like I had a couple of girls do the same thing. I had one most recently. I'll tell you this here. I met her originally when the Love of AOL chat, the instant messenger thing was going on, and Love of AOL was still a dating thing. I met her on there. I think she was like 18 and I was like 22, something like that. We're a couple of years apart. And for whatever reason, I wanted to go out with her, but she always wanted to just put me in the friend zone. So a nice guy, wasn't interested in me, but liked talking to me. Like we could have conversations. Fine. Okay. But then it still comes down to the fact that she still wants to hang out. Oh, let's go and get together and have lunch. Let's go ahead and meet up sometime. And I'm like, the last time I talked to her was on Facebook, on the Messenger, and I was like, explaining to her, I'm just busy all the time. I work. That's all I got to report. Like, how have you been? What have you been doing with yourself? I work. I do podcasts. I Uber. I do things like this all the time. I work on the stock market. I'm working on myself. That's it. I work out. I spend time with family. That's it. I go to the movies. That's it. Literally. It's not like I have much of a life over here, but I do live around everybody else's things that they do. But I'm not necessarily the social butterfly that everybody would like to think. No. I mean, there might have been a time where I got a little more out there and I was a little more outgoing, but not even close to where I am. I do go out a lot, but I don't go out to do stuff where I'm just spending money and just hanging out with people just to kind of like this lazy hang out. Like, I got to go out for a purpose. Like, rarely do I go out with somebody and do, like, even tonight I was supposed to go and go out to the movies with a friend of mine I haven't seen in, since the pandemic. And we've been talking about hanging out and get together. But, I brought up, what was it? I tried to call him yesterday to say how we're going to still meet up on Saturday night. Nothing happened. And then I called him in the middle of the afternoon today. I was like double checking. Hey, we still going to do this? We haven't made any plans, but, let me know. And he said, no, I got some other things that happen. We can't do it tonight. Okay, no problem. But one thing for me is that, and I'm sure some of the guys out there, when it comes to friends, the lack of friends, and then the friend zone on top of that, is the fact that a lot of younger guys and guys like myself, we don't have time. We don't waste time anymore. I'd rather be making money. I'd rather be doing something with myself and actually making the most of my time. Time spent wisely. That's what I've been doing. Making the most of themselves. Not worrying about people's opinions and just moving along. I just feel better about that. And that's where the whole friend zone thing feels even, where another feels like just a lot of times it's just a waste of time. And trust me, I have tried, because when guys try to go friend zone, we know we're trying to hook up with that girl. Even now, when I talked to this one girl the other day, it would be like I'd kind of be interested in going out with her, but I'm really not. Like, there's that 1% interest like I was back when I was 20-something years old, that I was still interested in her. But she's changed, I changed. It's not the same. And, it's just what happens. I just don't want to go out just to go out, man. Like, there's just times where I used to go out, go karaoke, go to a bar, go to a club. Used to go club all the time until about 33 years old. And then I just got tired of it. Just was enough. Wasn't getting much out of it. And that's where we were. Just like, it's a lot of money to go out these days because, things are not as cheap as they once were. And if there's some things I want to go do, like sometimes it would be better if you're able to go out with somebody to do it. So if I want to go play pool or go, bowl, or if I want to go hit mini golf, like, I know, I sound like a kid doing this, but I like that kind of stuff. And if I could find a girl that would be interested in going out with me doing that stuff, the thing is, it still comes down to the fact that why I want to do that, because this girl is not that interested in me. She's not like laying out for me and checking up on me, and might be checking up on me just as some kind of a status kind of thing. But it's not like I can ask her for money. It's not like I'm asking her for favors. It's not like I'm going to ask her to help me move my house. I don't ask that stuff of her. And even if I did, wouldn't trust her to do it right. Because I don't like to delegate anyway. I like to do things on my own. It's just the way it is. And, no, I'll not even spend time hanging out with my neighbors. If I see them, I say hello. Otherwise, I just keep to myself. I'm not sure other people are not feeling the same way because they feel like they need to have that attachment on to talk. I get that point. But that's what Uber is for me, so I can do that. So a licensed New Jersey psychologist, author, national speaker, Dr. Frank Saleo, told Inside Hook he researched a phenomenon in 1995, and he explains there are a few variables that why there's a lack of intimacy in close friendships and male-to-male friendships. Men usually aren't too keen on opening up and aren't great about expressing about how they feel. When they do, they seem weak, and they're more restrictive in their emotional expression, tend to have less intimate and close friendships. But they don't say anything here about men and women, which is where I'm coming from. And the other things that might be in the men's friendship crisis are outdated gender ideals, toxic masculinity, and homophobia. Quote, patriarchal societies such as ours relegate relationship maintenance, emotionality, and care of any kind to women or deem it as feminine, because we tell men that they don't need to deal with any of these things. According to a licensed marriage and family therapist and founder of the Vision Therapy, Rachel D. Miller, that said that quote, men are expected to be tough, independent, stoic, rational, sexual, and dominant. Where does it leave men when it comes to friendships? They're allowed to play games, build things, drive fast cars, drink, give each other grief, and watch sports together. Talk to each other about the ways they're struggling emotionally or the challenges in their marriage. Talk about their friendships with their friend. It could be a girlfriend, like a friend that's a girl that he's interested in, and try to talk about what can he do to like break that friend zone. Not likely, not without some serious dismantling of internalized toxic masculinity. The men she's worked with have great friendships, are feminist men. They don't always identify with that way, but once you dig into their actual values, that's what it comes down to. Well, I'm not a feminist, and I'm definitely a man, but not a feminist. And you know, regardless of what the decline might be and how people might feel up, it doesn't make a difference to me. And they talk about would it hurt people's health? Well, they could try to say that all they want, but it doesn't make a difference. Not to me anyway. I'll leave it there and talk to you next time.